Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rainy Day Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Rainey, and today we talking South Florida sports, man. And I'm blessed to be joined by an absolute dog of a human. We got the sports director for WPLG Local 10, the Miami Heat host and reporter, father, husband, Waffle House aficionado, and yeah, man, grad, man, South Florida legend. My boy Will Manso. What's going on, Will?
Andrew, good to see you, man. There's a lot going on. It's always fun to be on the show, especially we got all the sports going on now, man. We picked the time of the year where everything's happening.
Oh yeah, it's a good time too. I mean,
Yeah.
except for maybe the Dolphins, except for maybe the Dolphins, but maybe they could turn around. Maybe they won't. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. But
Yeah.
I just want to, yeah, man. How you been? How's work? How's everything? How's the family?
Everybody's good, man. Thankfully, everything's good. And it's funny because we complain sometimes about our teams, and you mentioned the Dolphins struggling. The Canes lost recently, though they did bounce back with a win. Uh, but it's just so good to be able to talk about this kind of stuff. It's just we're blessed in South Florida to have so many sports happening, so many things. Two-time Stanley Cup champion Panthers. He just got started. I'm excited. Canes hoops is getting started next week, so it just adds more stuff. So it never stops. You know how it is. We never have a dull moment in this town when it comes to sports.
Very true, man. You ever get tired of talking about it? Sports?
No, man, it beats. It's funny because people will come up to me. I went to a concert the other day, and a couple of people came up to me to talk. I was with my oldest daughter, and they were like, "Man, I'm starting to bug. I just want to ask you a question about the Dolphins." And I'm like, "Dude, you can ask me anything." It beats talking about real stuff like politics and money and all that. All the stuff going on in the world. I will talk sports any day of the week over that stuff. So it never gets old to me.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, it's like almost like a mental vacation, man.
It's an
Sports is.
escape. It's an escape from reality, man. We all live in reality, right? We all got to deal with reality. So the escape from it, when it's just we're talking about wins and losses and yards and touchdowns and home runs, and I mean that beats anything.
Definitely, man. And I mean, let's get into it because the team you cover the most, Miami Heat,
Mhm.
um, started the season with the loss, but bounced back three straight wins. They're averaging 131 points a
Wild,
game.
wild, wild.
It's just crazy to see like the style that they're playing with who
Yep.
we have playing. I just want to know like your take on like these four games.
Honestly, I'm surprised. I think as anybody because I all off season I heard the same thing. Look, we're going to play with more pace. We're going to play with more speed. We're going to really push the ball. But I'll be honest with you, we heard that last year too. We know
Yep.
that Spo for a few years now, let's be honest, has wanted to bring the Heat offense to the modern NBA. The Heat have been over the last few years, offensively, one of the more challenged teams in the league. They struggle to break 90, 95 points sometimes. I mean, they win games like Spo says in the mud, and that's great. I know the Heat culture, the Heat way, but in the modern NBA, you got to score points, man. You got
Yep.
to score a lot of points. And the Heat, as you mentioned, are averaging through four games 131, and they're doing it in a fun way. So it has surprised me. And personnel wise, not having Tyler Norman was out the other day. He's unlikely to play the game against San Antonio, and yet plug and play. Jaime Jaquez, Nico Jovic, Pella Larson started and played well in that win against the Hornets. Obviously, you got Wiggins and Bam and those guys and the veterans on the team as well. It's incredible how it's worked so far. It's been fun to watch. It's a small sample size, I get it, but I think the one thing we could take away early from the Heat, Adrian, is that they're fun. And I
Yeah.
think the one thing you can knock them the last few years, right? Even when they were winning a little bit, when they had Jimmy and they were still a competitive team, is there were times that this team was a little stale. That they hadn't caught up to what the NBA is now, where you're seeing teams routinely score 60 and 70 and a half. All of a sudden the Heat are doing that. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah. Did you expect Norman Powell to have the type of impact he's had this early?
No, but I was dumb not to. Like I should have,
Yeah.
because the one thing I've learned from Norman, and I don't know very well, I've only talked to him a couple times, is just a great professional guy. And that's what you heard, right? When you're in the league as long as he is, over a decade, you've played on a handful of teams. and every team you've played for, every guy you've played with has nothing but good things to say about you, I think that tells you a little bit about the character of the person, the work ethic of a person. But I think the thing we lost sight of, and I know I did in Portland and other places he's been, guy produces, man. He scores 20 a game when he plays, when he gets opportunities more than just being a role player. I asked him the other day what was the key to the transition. And he said, I'm a plug and play guy, man. I love any kind of fit. This fit has been great because I feel I can run. I feel I can score. I can be decisive. What's impressed me most about him, and that I didn't know again until I got to see him play, get to talk to him a little bit, is that you notice when he has the ball, it doesn't stick. He either takes it to the basket, shoots, or passes. There isn't that dribble, 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 wait, 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 shot clock winding down. What am I going to do? Chuck it. Like
Yeah.
it's not happening. And we've seen a lot of that. The Heat, what struggled offensively the last few years, and that's not one guy, it's all guys. There have been times where the offense has just been dribble, 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 wait, wait, wait. Guys, why is there anybody open? Why isn't the ball moving? Like Spo says, the
Shot
ball
clock running
sticks.
down.
Yeah, and you're taking shots, and next thing you know, the team's running the other way, and it's a 12-0 run, and you can't hit a shot. Norm doesn't allow that to happen, man. I've been really impressed. He is better than I thought he would be, and that's on me. I think, and a lot of Heat fans to not recognize that this guy is good.
Yeah. Like we all knew he was a scorer and what he could
Yeah.
like if you watched him before, you know what he could do, but
He's got
I
skills, yeah.
definitely yeah, I definitely did not expect 24 points a game
No,
right out the gate. I thought it would take him some time to get acclimated, but
yeah,
it seems like Spo, I mean, the mad genius, he's he's came up with a plan this year, and I mean it's working so far.
yeah.
Do you
And the
think
plan is
do you
run. The
think
plan is run, pass, shoot. That's it.
that's it? That's it. Run and run some more for real.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
do you think that takes away from the defense? We've been a pretty stout defensive team
yeah,
the last, I want to say 20 years probably. And this year it seems like teams are scoring a lot more. They're going over 100 pretty much almost
yeah.
every game. You think that's taken away a little bit the run and shoot formula?
Yeah. I asked Bam about that. I saw Bam after the game in Orlando, the opener, and in that game they got caught up in that. Remember, they turned the ball over a couple times late. They ended up losing the game because of it, because Orlando would score on the
Yeah,
other side. And I asked Bam, I said, "How are you guys going to balance that?" And he says, "We can't lose our principles defensively just because we're running." Now that is easier said than done, but I think it goes back to the original point, Adrian, is that the NBA is changing. The days of winning 95 to 91 and 91 to 88 games are gone, man. Are you going to have one of those now and then? Sure. But this league is you're going to beat teams 121 to 116. You're going to beat teams 124 to 120. You're going to beat teams 131 to 125. I mean, that's the way the league is. I think it's more pressure, creating turnovers, shot selection, and avoiding you being the team that turns the ball over and takes poor shots. That's, I think, the way this defense has to shift. Are there going to be nights that they allow under 100? They're going to be fewer and far between, I think. They just are. Now, the other night against Charlotte, they were phenomenal. They scored a lot of points. Charlotte scores were 117. Like, you tell me you allow Charlotte, which is, by the way, one of the highest scoring teams in the league early in the season,
yeah.
you'd be like, what the heck is wrong with the Heat defense? They won by 27 points, you know? So it's just the way the league is. I think as long as the principles of defense are there, the focus to trying to create turnovers, to try to make things tough for teams is there. You can deal with the scoring because in turn you're hopefully scoring a lot too.
Yeah, and if you're scoring 131 points a game, you're probably going to win a lot of
Probably
those
going to
games.
win. You're probably going to win 90% of those games if you're the Heat. 95% of those games. Yeah.
Hey, let's hope they can keep that pace. We got Spurs tomorrow.
Yep.
Wemby, going to San Antonio, but we'll face off against Wemby and the Spurs. Then Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets.
Yeah. You
Tough
got you
little
got the West Coast
stretch.
trip. Yeah.
So that's going to be a nice little test early in the season to see, if they can keep this pace up
Yeah.
and defensively. That's what I really want to see how they look defensively against those West Coast teams because
Yeah.
they can put up points as well. So
Yeah, I think Wemby's the ultimate challenge, right? Because I think you're not going to get LeBron where you're out with the Lakers.
yeah,
Obviously, you're going to deal with some great players, but Wemby's an alien. He's a freak of nature, and he's also an incredible star. And they're undefeated. Uh, that's going to be the real challenge. That's where, back to your question about defense, I am curious to see what kind of game plan Spo devises defensively on Wemby. Now, you can draw up any kind of game plan you want. Sometimes it doesn't matter when it comes to him. He's just so big and unique, and he can shoot, he can drive. We've seen him this year do like, 360 moves and layups and up and unders and step back
Alien.
threes. Like, how do you stop a 7'4" guy doing that? But it's going to be fun to see what Spo comes up with and the staff comes up with. I think that's the first real test of the season because it's so unique. Now, the good thing is it's unique. It's something you only see twice a year. There
Yeah.
are no other Victor Wembanyama's in the NBA, but it'll be a fun early challenge. But to your point, look, when I looked at the Heat schedule, and I thought I had the Heat penciled in 40-42 wins, again fighting for a play-in spot when I was asked about it before the season. You look at this team now, I thought early in the season they'd be lucky to win two, three of their first six, seven, 8 games. They've already won three out of four. Now you're in a position where keep playing this, and then all of a sudden you come back after this tough trip, you might have 5, 6 wins in your pocket. That's not what I expected. So this is going to be a really interesting trip.
Yeah. And then, what do you envision when Tyler comes back? You think this
It's a great question.
this offense, I feel like will fit him perfectly.
Yeah.
But I want to know your take on it.
I've been asked a lot the last week or so because they've looked so good. And I think it's funny because we're so conditioned to look at the negative side of things instead of the positive. Every question
Yeah.
I get from the Tyler end is like, man, do you think he's going to screw it up? Like, because it's working so well and he'll screw it up. And my answer is no. I think if anything, he's going to fit right in because I think he sees the vision where this offense isn't tailored for a guy to just take 20, 25 shots. Now, there are nights where a particular player, whether it be Bam or Norman Powell or Tyler when he's healthy, but this offense is find the guy that's open in space with movement and let that guy shoot. That's it. The only change to me with Tyler is in the final moments of a game, is he will probably have the ball in his hand. They'll probably want to get the ball in his hands more, like up three late in the game or down three late in the game. But you have options. We saw Wiggins hit a big shot against the Knicks the other night when the Knicks cut
Yeah.
it to five. He comes down the court, he hits a three. So to answer your question, man, I think this is the kind of offense that really fits Tyler. If this was more of a half court set offense where, okay, is Tyler, can he be the point guard? Can he do but a guy we haven't mentioned, how good has Davion been controlling the
Oh,
point and making the decisions, man? I mean, he's been a godsend to that team because he's that, pass first, defend first kind of guy that doesn't need to. He had a game the other day where I think he took 4 shots. And it's
yeah.
like, I mean, how often do you find that in the NBA where a guy who technically has the ball to start is only taking 4 or 5 shots in the game? So I think that'll help Tyler too because he can go and run and find his spots as opposed to bring the ball up and look for guys. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think if anything, it's going to be a good thing and an asset for this team.
Yeah, and the depth we have is crazy, and
Yeah.
it was on display, and especially in the Grizzlies game where we everyone scored except for Kashad Johnson. Like
Yeah.
that was a
Had seven
crazy
seven
game.
guys in double figures.
Yeah, crazy man, crazy.
Yeah.
It's looking good for the Heat for sure.
It's a good
Um,
start.
we're not when it's too early to talk like
It is.
finals, but with the East being so depleted like it is with all these injured players,
Yeah.
we definitely had a shot. I
Well,
feel like.
I'll give you this. I talked to my wife about this today. Who my wife is a broadcaster too. So we were talking about talking
Yeah, yeah.
sports. Like we talk sports all the time too. And she was saying like, do you think the Heat are really going to be? Can this keep up? Like be a contender? And my answer is, look, I'm not going to jump from where a week ago I was thinking the Heat were a play-in team fighting for a spot to being in the NBA Finals. I'm not going to after 4 games get that way. But I will say this: if we learned anything last year about the East, is that if you get hot and you play good team basketball. I wouldn't say the Pacers last year on paper were better than anybody. Halliburton played like a star at times, but their story was balance. Their story was
Mhm.
togetherness. Their story was they really bought in together and it was unselfish play. Why couldn't the Heat be like that this year? I'm not saying they're going to be, but I thought last year laid the blueprint down where in an East that doesn't seem to have a dominant team right now, why not? Why couldn't they
Yeah,
make noise if they continue this style of play and guys stay healthy? I don't think it's silly to think that way.
yeah. How do you I definitely I don't think so either. I think it's a legit chance. They have a legit
Yeah,
chance.
it's good. I mean, it's not as crazy as what possibly would have sounded a month ago when you were trying to figure out how this is going to fit and how it's going to work. The East is wide open. Their East is wide open, and they seem to have a good vision and plan. So why not? Let's see how this plays out.
On Fon to check to Tekio,
Fontecchio, Simone.
bro. When we got him, you seen a lot of like negative stuff about him on social
Yeah, well,
media,
he's
and
not Duncan.
he's
It's tough. It's tough to replace.
yeah,
Duncan was a good player for a long time for the
yeah. But I mean, the dude's playing, so definitely not
Heat.
Duncan, but he's playing.
He could shoot, and and the funny thing, if Heat fans remember well, he killed the Heat a couple times. I remember
Hmm.
one game where I was doing highlights with Amy in the studio, and I was like, "Who the hell is Simone Fontecchio? What is he doing? What's this guy doing to the Heat?" And now there are fans from other teams probably watching Heat games saying, "Who the hell is Simone Fontecchio? Why is he doing this to our team?" So it's nice when he's on your side. He's got look, he's everybody raves about him. They say he's a really nice guy. I actually haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I haven't had a chance to meet him yet.
Okay.
But he seems like obviously a talented guy, big shooter, and I think Spo loves the way he plays and the style that he
Yeah.
plays. Catch that ball and shoot, man. Don't be afraid. Let it fly. And clearly, he's done that through 4 games.
Yeah. 4 games in last year, a lot of people were saying Spo don't have it. Spo don't have it anymore. Hey,
Yeah,
look what he's done. 4 games, small sample size,
yeah,
but I mean, from the expectations of fans, I would say to
yeah.
where this season has gone so far in these 4 games is incredible. I
By the
do
way, to
want
your
to
point,
get
credit to Spo. Credit to Spo. He worked hard this offseason. He cleared his mind of everything because it was a bad year last year, and Spo was
yeah,
part of it. Like it's okay to say that even the greatest coaches have tough years. Man, he came back with a plan though. Pat Riley said at the end of your press conference, Spo will figure it out. Like he'll clear
hmm,
his head. Like yeah, he will figure it out when he was asked specifically about the offense. And to Spo's credit, to Pat's credit, they're absolutely right. He has figured it out.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why anyone would doubt Spo, man. The dude's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
One of the 15 greatest of all time on paper, and I think when
Yeah,
it's all said and done, will be one of the 10 of all time when it's all said and done.
for sure, for sure. I want to get your take on Khalil Ware, like
Mhm.
his upcoming season. How you feeling about him? Have you spoke with
Yeah,
him? Have you how's he
yeah.
how's he feeling about this season?
Look, Khalil's a good kid. I remember meeting him back. First time I met Khalil was back last previous year's summer league. I was in Vegas and it was his rookie year. And Khalil's man, he's a talented kid. But I think sometimes people forget is that he is. I say a kid. I'm a 50-year-old man. I think he's a young man. He's a talented
Yeah.
young man. I mean, he is. He's young. He's growing still. He wants to be great, and he has the talent to. And the Heat are trying to show him that, and Spo in particular, that if you really want to be that great, it can't just be your talent. And I think it's something of that he's learning that there can't be wasted energy on the court. When you're that skilled at that size, have the talent that people dream and wish of having, and you were God given this talent, and you've worked at your craft and you're in good shape, there is another level for you to take. And that level is dominate. That level is every possession, no wasted movement, no wasted possessions. And I think that's what the Heat are working on. So when you hear Spo say like, "Oh, he could be better," there's a game in the preseason where he had a double double. I don't know the exact numbers, but there was like 25 and 13. And Heat fans were like, "This is the Hillel that we should get." And Spo was like, "I think there's more to give there. I wasn't necessarily happy with the numbers more so than the effort. Like I want the effort." And people are like, "What the heck is he talking about?" Because he's so good, Adrian, because he's got so much skill, Spo is almost harder on him because he knows how good he can be. He knows it. So, and I think Khalil knows that too. To his credit, man, he's taken on the role early in the season. The opener, he was off the bench because he was dealing with a minor injury. But I think they're going to stick with this lineup for the most part with Bam and Khalil starting, mix and match them throughout the game. Sky's the limit with this kid, man. It really is. And if he puts his mind to it and continues to work hard, he will be a double-double machine for a long time to come.
Yeah, and he can shoot threes, man. Block
Yeah,
shot. He can do it all. He literally can
yeah,
do it all. He's like
he really
a little
can.
baby Wimby, but without the handles. I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, he's going to keep working, and he's got a challenge tomorrow. Remember last year, though, Khalil and Wemby faced off, and Khalil played very well, held his own. Those kind
Yeah.
of challenges are fun, so I'm looking forward to seeing that Thursday night.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. All right, man. We'll shift gears here and go in to talk some Canes football.
Okay.
That's your alma mater. Um, I know you were happy with you know the first half of the season. Then we
Yeah.
how'd you feel about that loss? Like, did you take it hard, or did you think we blew it?
Well,
Or
yeah, it was tough. I think the hardest part with that loss was I somebody had asked me before that game. I don't know if it was right before the game or a couple weeks earlier. Hey, do you think the Canes are going to go undefeated? Before the college football playoff. And my honest answer was no. And it wasn't really a knock on their team. It was more, it's really hard to win every game, man. You're going to have a
yeah,
day where the other team is just doing things right and you're making mistakes and you're going to lose a game. I thought that that was going to happen. I didn't know it would be the Louisville game. My biggest question with this Canes team, and it's the same question with us talking now, is how will they bounce back from that? In the past, one loss has turned into two losses, has turned into three losses, right? When they lose some random ACC game, next thing you know, they lose another one, next thing you know, and they're not even playing for the ACC title. I feel this team is different. I feel that this team has the talent. I feel that Mario has a good grasp of this team, of what they want. I feel the coordinators have a good grasp of what they want. Corey Heatherman's been really good defensively as the new coordinator. I feel this team, while losing a game didn't shock me, it would surprise me if they lost another game before the college football playoff. Now, they may not even be in the ACC title game if other teams keep winning, but that won't matter. They'll still be, I think, in the college football playoff if they win out. So the challenge now is don't lose again. Show that you are different than Kane's teams of the past that would lose a game and then a couple weeks later would randomly lose another game and make the same mistakes and poor decisions, poor play. I feel confident that this team is going to be different. They had a big second half in beating Stanford. They've got some challenges over the next few weeks with some pretty good teams. Look, going to SMU in an early start in Dallas, your first game outside of the state of Florida this season. I don't think that's going to be a cakewalk, but show that you're different than Kane's teams of the past.
yeah, for sure. Boy, they were coming for him after that loss. Oh, Carson, boy, Carson Beck, he got a lot of heat
I
from that
mean,
game.
The biggest thing, well, what the biggest knock on Carson Beck is that he's not Cam Ward. But who the heck is?
Yeah,
Cam Ward had one of the great seasons in college football history as a quarterback with what he did. He single-handedly willed Miami to those 10 wins last year. That was a
yeah,
whole different animal. And yes, if Cam Ward was on this team with this defense, they probably would go undefeated. But Carson Beck is still, I think, very good. And I thought this week Shannon Dawson said something interesting when he spoke to the media on Monday. He said Carson did what we needed him to do against Stanford. And what was that? Made the right decisions, didn't make dumb plays, didn't turn the ball over. Now I'm saying that based off what about Shannon said. But again,
yeah,
Carson Beck did what he had to do. What he has to do is not throw for 400 yards and four touchdowns. That's not what they expect. Just be smart. And we've seen it for the most part, but then the times where he tries to force things, i.e., that game against Louisville, bad things happen.
yeah. He was. I mean, they. I felt like they needed it. I felt like they needed. They riding a high. I
Yeah,
mean, and then kind of got brought down back down to earth. But look what
yeah,
they did: come out and blow a team out after that.
yeah.
Make it.
They got to keep doing it. They
Like,
got to keep doing it. And Carson
yep.
Beck has all the experience in the world. And like I said, I trust the defense now. They got a nice running game. I mean, Malachi Tony's been unbelievable. Kid's 18
Oh,
years old. And while people knock Mario a lot, I think Mario's got a good grasp on this team. I really do. I give
mhm.
Mario credit, man. He has promised that he would build this team through recruiting, through NIL, to the offensive line, to the defensive line. And all of it has come true. Now the question is, can they finish the season strong and really make the college football playoff and be a contender?
Yeah, I believe they will. You have a top player that like that you absolutely love on this team. You can give me three if you got
On
three
the
to five,
Canes,
whatever. On the
on the
Canes, yeah.
oh my God, my favorite player by far. First of all, he's a great young man, but he's going to be one of the top picks of the draft. Ruben Bain Jr. is a freak of nature. I mean, he is a special player because first of all, he always wanted to be a Cane. Grew up in a Cane family, wanted to be a Cane. Committed to Miami, stayed a Cane. I was listening to him talk today to the media, and I was listening to some of his sound, and he said that he gets in the building at first thing, and he's watching film late at night, watching film in the morning. He's like, I'm watching film sometimes in class. Like this guy eats, sleeps, and breathes football. On top of the fact that defensively, he's almost impossible to stop if you don't double him.
Yeah.
Or what Louisville did, take him out of the game, is quick pass. You don't give him a
Yep.
chance to break through. I love him. He's a great player. He's going to be a heck of an NFL player. And I mentioned Malachi Tony. Malachi,
Yeah.
if you don't, it's one of those things. If you watch a game for the first time, you've never seen the team play right, and you're just sitting there and say, okay, watch this team for 20 minutes and watch the game. Okay, who stands out? 99% of the time, the person watching that game is going to be like, "Who's that guy? That Tony guy? That guy's unbelievable." And that's how Malachi Tony is. When he gets the ball in his hands, it's like everybody holds their breath because you don't know
Yeah,
what's going to happen. He's going to cut back. He's going to come. He's going to pick up. He's a
exactly.
blast to watch. So, and that's another thing, Adrian, that they have that has been different, right? Cam
Mhm.
was the case as a transfer, but homegrown talent, guys that you brought in from your community, from the 305, from the 954, that as freshmen showed it and continue to grow. Malachi's a freshman now, Ruben's a junior, but he showed it his freshman year when he got here. That's what the Canes have been missing, man. That homegrown talent that stays in South Florida and dominates. And those two guys are doing that right now.
Yeah, and Cristobal been recruiting
He doesn't
his
stop.
ass off,
He doesn't stop,
man.
man. He's always at high school games on Thursdays and Friday nights. He's got a great
Yeah,
staff. And like I said, I've been hard on Mario sometimes for for time management stuff and decision making over the last few
yeah,
years. Like it's okay to be critical. Like it can't all be like flowers and roses and everything's great.
yeah, man,
But I give him credit, man. Everything he said he was going to do, he has done so far, and the results are starting to show.
for sure. Um, how you like Carson Beck? You feel good about Carson
I
Beck?
do. I do. Again, the biggest knock on him is that he's not Cam Ward, but he's still as good as about any quarterback in the country, I think, as far from a college perspective. I don't know what kind of pro he's going to be. There's talk, is he a first round pick? Is he a second round pick? He's got I think, the size and the ability to be that kind of quarterback. He's got to show a little more consistency from avoiding the turnovers and the mistakes and making the good decisions. But look, this guy's played at the highest level at Georgia in national championship type games and big games, conference championship games in front of 100,000 people. I like having him on my side if I'm a Kane fan because I feel that he has seen it all. And he's a smart kid too. He's not at all cocky. Now, one thing about Carson Beck when I first met him was I don't know why I had this image of him because he played at Georgia and oh, Georgia, those guys in the SEC think they're all high and mighty. And then you meet him, and he's a really humble kid. Comes from a good family from Jacksonville. His parents are great, lovely people. His sister, I mean, he's a good young guy. He's a good
Yeah,
kid. Not at all the cocky, arrogant kid for some reason that I thought he was going to be. He's not at all. He's very humble, and very willing to admit his mistakes and learn from them. And I think he's a very good quarterback for the Canes to have. Like I said, I think there are a few in the country better than Carson Beck at the quarterback position.
yeah, definitely. Switching sides to the defense, I think a guy that don't get talked about a lot, Keontae Scott. I
Yeah.
think he's having a great season, and he don't get no love. So I just wanted to show him some love. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad you did. Well, I think, too, the thing is, Rube gets all the attention because he's a Heisman candidate, and Akeem
Yeah,
Mesidor on the other side is going to get. But when you look at what they brought in, like what was everyone talking about last year when they lost to Syracuse? If they only had a defense, if they
yeah,
only had a defense. Well, they went out, and they got guys in the portal, they got guys through recruiting, and they got what I think is an incredible defensive coordinator in Heatherman. You look at the
yeah.
job that they've done. Again, it goes back to what I said about Mario. Mario heard it. Like he heard it. He didn't just hear it because it's not like Mario's there on Twitter or on social media saying,
Mm.
I should do that. I should do that. He saw it. He saw like, man, I gotta fix this defense. It's on me. And players like you mentioned with Scott, and I mentioned the lines, the corners they got, the talent they got. A lot of it is young talent too, like underclassmen guys that are going to keep growing. Credit to them, man.
Bryce
They're figuring
Bryce
it out how to do it.
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, outstanding, made a big pick in that FSU game. I mean, you look at these kids that have played well, all doing their part, and they're all very young and a lot, not just producing, but a lot of room to grow and produce even more.
Yeah, and I know we just want to see the Canes in the playoffs,
That's all.
and
That's it. That
that's
is
it.
it, man. I'm doing an
Just
event tomorrow. I'm emceeing an event for the college football championship game. There's been a bunch of former Canes, former Noles, a
nice.
bunch of people there. And but the whole part of the discussion that we have is about the Canes being in the playoff. Can it be there? Because it would be so big for South Florida, man. Having the national championship game in town, having already the Orange Bowl, obviously historically in town, and the Canes being in the mix, man, it would be awesome.
Just get there. Just get there. That's it, right?
That's it. Get there. Get there. I won't get greedy. I want to win, but just get there too. I'll
Yeah,
get there.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, man, playing a lot better than the other team in Miami. I can't wait. to hear your thoughts about the Miami Dolphins this year. With all the hype, all the talk in the off season, they talk, we do.
Yeah,
Adversity is an opportunity, and
yeah.
oh man, what do you think happened?
Yeah, what's funny is that all those things you just said, Mike McDaniel isms, I guess, things that Mike McDaniel talked about. Now Mike McDaniel's messages like, let's not talk anymore. Like, let's talk, not do. Like, we got a major in doing, not
We
talking.
talk too much.
We talk to because it's like when you're losing, you're talking too much. You know what I mean? When you're winning or
Yeah.
when there's expectation of winning, then people love to hear it. But when you're losing, nobody wants to hear anything. They just want to be like, what's wrong with this team? So where do we start? Let's start with the fact that this team offensively has struggled early. And look, they blame it on the offensive line, blame it on the injury of Tyreek Hill, blame it on Mike McDaniel, maybe the league figuring him out after that exciting first year. But this offense just got stale in a hurry after that first year. But I think the second part too is the defense has been pretty damn bad, and they had a nice bounce back against the Falcons, and you hope they could build off of that. There's signs of improvement, and it wasn't just that you were dealing with Kirk Cousins and not dealing with Drake London, and that you could concentrate on Bijan Robinson. To their
I
credit, they
don't
stopped
know.
him.
I don't know.
But one game's not going to tell you that everything's okay. You know what I mean? Especially
Exactly.
when you think up until that game, they had barely beaten the Jets, who were winless at the time, and that was the only win of the season. So what happened to this team? Everything, man, everything. All the messaging was off. All the talk about the culture fix and all this stuff and accountability, none of it showed up on the field. And you can. This is why the culture thing and all that stuff is so overrated. Like I take it back to the Heat. The Heat are very big on the culture, and people laugh sometimes from the outside about Heat culture. Heat culture only works when you're winning. When you're
Yeah.
losing or you're getting swept and losing by 50 to Cleveland in the first round of the playoffs, people are gonna what are they gonna do? They're gonna laugh at you. Oh, what about the culture now? You know what I mean? Like, oh, some
Oh
culture.
yeah.
Because
The
in the end,
trolls
it's
come out.
results that matters. So it's the same thing's happened with the Dolphins. They spent an entire offseason saying that their culture's fixed, and then they are terrible on the field. So who cares about the culture? Who cares about if guys are getting along or if they're putting in the extra work if the result is bad? And Mike McDaniel knows that. I do think I will say this though. I think I don't think he should be fired right now. Like people have asked me over and over the last few weeks, should he be fired? And my thing is like, why? What are you gonna do? Fire and hire somebody? Let things play out. I think he should get a clear vision of where this is going. And I think we got a pretty good idea of where it's going. There's a lot of roster issues, and that's Chris Greer. That's not Mike McDaniel. Would Stephen Ross truly pull the plug on Chris Greer after 2 decades of being in the organization? Is that really going to happen? I don't know because to me that's a bigger question than Mike McDaniel. Coaches come and go, but roster composition and roster building and salary cap managing, that's on the general manager. And this team hasn't done that well for a very long time.
Yeah. Injury riddled too. Every year. It seems like every year we got 10 people on IR out for the season.
That's unfortunately football, though. Like that's tough. You're right, but that's just one of those things. But that's where depth comes in, right? Having the right
Yep.
pieces around it. It can't just be where one guy gets hurt and derails your entire season. Now, if
Exactly.
that guy happens to be Patrick Mahomes, or we see, look, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson goes out, they look like a top 5 pick team without Lamar Jackson. Now they'll play Thursday night. They'll probably look like a playoff team again. And that's just the way it is.
Playing the
But
Dolphins, a lot of teams look like the playoff team.
you're right about that. You're right about that. The Browns look like a playoff team.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
so bad. Did you
Yeah,
watch that?
I did, unfortunately. It was rock. I said that was rock bottom, and people ask me, say, "Oh, it could get worse." I don't know, man. Getting drilled by the Browns. What was it? 31-6? Was that the score? I don't remember what it was. It was 31-6, 31. I don't know, something like that.
31-6. Yeah, we did not
Yeah.
score a touchdown.
I mean, if that's not rock bottom, I don't know what is. A rookie quarterback, not making any mistakes while your quarterback's throwing picks left and right in his 6th year. That was rock bottom. But there are bigger issues, Adrian.
Yeah,
I hope the Dolphins play well Thursday night. I'm glad they won against Atlanta, but let's not kid ourselves. This team's got roster issues. This team's got issues they got to figure out. They got to figure out, obviously, general manager and coaching issues. Are they going to move forward? There are a lot more questions than answers right now for this team. There are very few guys like Devon Achane. Love him. He's your guy, man. Don't let him go there. All this Jalen Waddle trade talk, please stop.
oh, please.
Jalen Waddle signed at a
Please
good
stop.
contract. He's a piece to try to build around. But outside of that, there are a lot of questions. Jordan Brooks, look, credit to them. Jordan Brooks has been excellent. He's been very good. He's been a
Absolute
really,
dog.
he's been a
Absolute dog.
yeah, great addition. But that's just not enough. in a league where there's just so many quality teams and teams that have good talent, and the Dolphins don't seem to match up with that talent week in, week out.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a different unit every game too. Sometimes it's the
Yeah.
defense. I mean, it varies through quarters
Yeah.
also. Like the
It's the
offense.
cliche of complimentary football, right? Like complimentary football is a
Yeah.
cliche, but it's true, right? Like you got to
Oh yeah.
compliment each other. If you have a game where you can't stop anybody, your offense is scoring, you still might win or you still might lose 34-31. What good is it? You know, like
Yeah.
you gotta, and it seemed like it's been that way for a few years, right? Like two
Mhm.
will have a big game, but the defense will be awful. But defense will play well, but two will be bad, and the offense will be bad. Or two is okay, and the defense is okay, but the special teams screws it up. You know, it's like
Exactly.
it just can't figure it out and put it together.
Yeah, and the Falcons game was the first game we played all season that was actual complimentary football. So
By the way, what was the I thought the best thing of that game? They kept it simple. Sometimes
yeah,
boring and simple is effective in football. And some other things no, but in football, protect the quarterback, run the football, get the ball out quickly, stick with the plan. You know, gain tackle when you're trying to chase down a Bijan Robinson, keep the ball away from him. They did a lot of things that on paper weren't exactly like, oh wow, that was a huge coaching shift. It was just the simple part of the game, as opposed to trying to air it out or get tricky or do silly things. They just went with their bread and butter. They ran the ball, what, 37 times, I think it was. That's an easy way to avoid interceptions, throwing the ball 37 times or running the ball 37 times, excuse me. And defensively, they did a great job on Robinson. They kept it simple, and I think that that's the formula more so than the sexy stuff of throwing the ball over the place and trick plays and throws behind your back and all that stuff. Keep it simple, man. They've got talent, especially with Ollie Gordon the second. Looks like a nice player along with Achan. Feed those guys. Run that way.
definitely. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, Atlanta's game plan was trash. That's why they didn't win
Well, they took
because they
advantage of
only
it.
yeah they only got Bijan 9 carries, for
Yeah.
the 25 yards. But it's like we forced them because our offense was scoring,
You score
so we
14
forced
points
them
right
to
off the
stop
bat.
running.
Yes,
Exactly.
you score 14 points off the bat. It's hard to say let's commit to the run and stick to it, and that's going to work because that's a tough way to catch up.
Yeah. Sensitive topic. Are you a Tua guy?
You know, I've always been a tool guy in the sense that I think you can win with him. The question is, I don't think you can win because of him, and that's the problem. Is I think you
You
can
think we
put
can
the
win a
right.
Super Bowl with Tua?
Well, I mean, that's a tough question. Like, yes, but let's be honest, Adrian. I think the answer is yes because I think I've seen quarterbacks. I think there are quarterbacks that can win. Like I look at guys in the last few years. Like it's great when you have a Tom Brady. It's great when you have a Patrick Mahomes. But I
Yeah.
think if you have great players around a very good quarterback, the problem with Tua right now is it's how are you going to build when you're paying him franchise quarterback money? How are you going to build all those people around him? You know what I mean? Because that takes money. So they kind
And
of
the
blew the
cap
Tua
and the
years.
cap has been mishandled.
Yeah, and to me they blew the Tua years when you had him on the rookie contract. Those were the years. And by the way, Tua had some pretty good years when he was healthy, some pretty good
Mhm.
numbers, but they could never really build enough around him because again, I think Tua doesn't elevate players in that way, the way of and who does like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I mean, the list is that short, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
not many guys that are that great. There are a lot of guys that are good. Like I look at it this way, Jared Goff has been a very good quarterback in this league a long time. I think the Lions are a team that can win a Super Bowl. Is Jared Goff to me
So,
Patrick Mahomes? No, but I think he
no.
can win a Super Bowl. You know, Matthew Stafford's a little different because Stafford is pretty damn good. Stafford's a future Hall of Famer. Like
Oh yeah.
he's probably underrated in a sense. But to
He
answer
was
your
on a
two
shite
question,
team for so long. That's what it
yes.
was.
To answer your two question, the answer for me now, it used to be yes. For me now is no, because I think that ship has sailed. You're paying him franchise quarterback money, and he's not playing like a franchise quarterback. And that handicaps you so much salary cap wise when you're paying a guy that kind of money, and he's not that guy. Is that Tua's fault? No. He played very well and had very good seasons for a long time. They didn't have enough around him to be a Super Bowl team and now you're paying him like he's a superstar, and he's not. And then you have the rest of the roster being very average to mediocre because
Yeah.
you can't salary wise build that kind of roster unless you hit on early draft picks, which we go back to Chris Greer. They haven't hit home runs with a lot of picks.
Yeah. And we're talking about the Dolphins, and we got two guys. Well, my brother Finn Sammy, saying good evening to us,
Yeah,
and the
good to
Dive
good.
Bar podcast. Fins TV, Sammy runs Fins TV, Dolphins podcast, the Dive Bar podcast. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Oh yeah, those guys do a great job. They do a great job. I love all the
Yeah.
content you guys put on. I always tell people like you guys put on better content than most because it's like it comes from a place of like passion and love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like what how do we fix this team? How do we get the Dolphins to win? You know? Because in the end, that's what everybody wants, man. I don't like I've been doing
Yeah.
this 27 years. I don't like covering losing teams, man. I don't want to cover 2-6 teams. I want to cover
It's
six and
so
two
hard.
teams.
It's
Yeah,
so hard to cover them.
it is. It's miserable.
Don't it seem like you when they're losing? And I'm talking about all the teams. When they're losing, it's like we're talking about the same thing every single, every single show
Dysfunction,
pretty much.
firings, who should get cut, who should get fired, who stinks, who's overrated, who's getting paid too much. It's always the same thing. When you're losing, everything is bad, man. When you're winning, everything is good. When you're winning,
Oh yeah.
it's funny. The Heat are 3-1. Everybody kind of forgot about the Terry Rozier stuff. Like, oh, okay, whatever. The FBI's
Oh
investigating. Well,
yeah.
let's move on. They're 3-1, man. Hey, FBI can investigate. We're gonna score. We're gonna run.
What
Yeah.
what that last for like 2 days? And then it was
It was
gone. It's
it was a
gone
2 day
now.
story. But if the Heat were terrible, or like with the Dolphins, when all the things happened with the Dolphins, right, when the culture stuff came up, it was like the whole story, right? And the stuff
Yeah.
with Chua, what did he say the other day? What did he talk about? Did he throw the team under the bus by mentioning the films? Again, because they're losing, those stories
Yeah.
have more legs to them than when you're winning. And that's just like, all right, whatever, we're winning. You get over it. They're 6-2. They're playing great. But it's obviously not the case.
And he lost to the Browns, and then he said that too. Like
Yeah.
that was probably
Not
you.
ideal.
Nah, definitely not, man. We got Cap for life in the chat. He said, "Will Manso, what kind of hairspray do you use? The product is bulletproof for years,
This
bro."
thing, this thing, that's a good question. I use like a paste and then I use like I don't know what can of hair. So it's like a green can that I like it's like a green can, but that thing, trust me, it won't
Giselle buys
move.
it.
Giselle has her own. Giselle uses her own. She doesn't let me because she uses the trendy, like expensive. I use the pure alcohol, like it's probably terrible for you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna have like a hole in my hair, like in 5 years from now, from all the hairspray. No, but I use a little gel, little mousse, and a little hairspray, and I'm good to go. A lot grayer these
Oh
days,
yeah.
by the way. I don't use the I don't Spo. See, the Spo uses that stuff to darken it up. Spo's hair is blacker than your shirt, but
Oh yeah.
mine, I got the gray still. I got the
You getting there,
bleaching in.
man. Bro, you're still so young. So young.
Oh man, 50. Sometimes
The
I don't
energy
feel
you
it,
give
but
off.
I
Hey, the
try,
energy
man.
you
I
give
try.
off is yeah.
I try. I
It's like
appreciate
you're
it. I try.
20 years old, Will.
Man, I got a 20-year-old daughter. That's what I got.
Oh, that's
Oh
hey,
man.
13, man. I'm on my way. I'm on my
Oh,
way
oh
there.
yeah, sure. Trust me. It
Yeah.
flies.
It's fun right now.
Oh, I got
It's
I,
so
well, I
much
got
fun.
20, 18, and 10. So I got three girls. I got two in college. So it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, one visited you on set, right? When you were you
Yeah,
up
at
north?
FSU in Tallahassee. She's in Tallahassee. She's a
FSU.
freshman in
Yeah, there
Tallahassee.
you go.
She loves it. Every time, I got her like all parents. Like I got find my friends and like I work till midnight. So I'll get home at midnight. I'm like, oh, let me check in. I'm like, oh, she's at a club. That looks like a frat house. That looks like a party. I'm like, damn, man. We
That's
were
real.
all that age once. We were all that age once. It's
For
all good.
sure, for sure. Just hey, that's it. You just gotta make smart decisions, honey. That's it.
That's all I tell her. Just be smart. And to her credit, she is. So
Yeah.
I went with my other one to FAU to tailgate with her for an FAU game. And I'm like, man, these kids can party.
Yeah.
They're out there doing shots and doing this stuff. I'm like an old man. I'm like, I didn't do this when I was a kid. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I did. I probably did. I
Maybe a
just don't
little bit.
remember it. Yeah, I don't.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, man. You can't do it. That age, it'll get you. I mean,
Yeah,
put you down for a while too.
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right about that.
All right. Ravens game tomorrow.
Yeah,
We got a night tomorrow. Heat and Dolphins.
yeah, man. I'm
Prime
gonna be
time.
watching Wemby and played it.
Oh,
You lost me.
lost
Somebody was
Will.
calling.
Okay.
You got me there, Adrian? Still
Yeah,
there?
yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, you there? Okay, good. I didn't see you there, so I can't hear you at the moment. I'm still frozen.
You hear? You can't
Um,
hear me?
let me see if I can get this thing fixed. Uh, let me see if it's still working. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this
Live shows, man. That's what happens. It's just getting good, too. No. Yeah, man. Back.
at
I can't hear you now.
a
Oh,
phone
there we
issue.
go.
You can hear me now? You good?
Yeah,
You
I
good?
got you.
Okay.
I got you. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I'm gonna be. So we were talking about what I mean. Clay did a story today from 5 o'clock news. He's like, we got Wemby and Lamar Jackson facing our teams tomorrow night. Man, that's about as big a challenge. Lamar, you could say, maybe the most
Oh,
talented
yeah.
player in all of football, and Wemby right now, it's hard to argue that he's the most freakish.
Another, another call. You gotta love it. That's show business, y'all. We have the technology. Yes, Cap. Yes. Hey, Sammy, spot on. Spot on with that one. There's nothing like live podcasting. Oh, good, man. We'll be back in a second. Definitely. Yeah, man. Lamar Jackson. I hope. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. I really don't. This one could be really good or really bad. We're gonna see because the Ravens ain't been playing too well, but we'll get it. Happy Halloween. Oh man. Busy man. That's a busy man right there, for real.
All right, I think we got it now. Sorry about that. My phone was freaking out. Oh, I just got this phone
All good.
today. I just got
For
the
real?
one of the. Yeah, it's like an iPhone 17, whatever. I'm still trying to figure
Oh,
it
the
out.
new one.
Yeah, the new one. I did, yeah. Anyways, finish the thought. Wendy and Lamar Jackson tomorrow night, man, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be. We're going to be going back and forth on the remote controls, watching the action. It stinks that they're playing
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time, but you're talking to two of the best players in the world at their
You gotta do
sports.
you gotta do TV and phone. That's what you gotta do.
That's the way it is.
And
Yeah, that's the.
just be like this.
It's and also, a lot of the game will dictate, right? Like if the Dolphins are 10-10 at the half and hanging around and the Heat are down 18 at the half, it might be like, or vice
Yeah.
versa. If the Heat are up 10 and it's a 3-point game at the half and the Dolphins are down 21-3, you'd be like, oh, okay, we saw enough. So
Yeah.
the game's going to dictate a lot of what happens.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel you. I do the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
We got- and we are back. Fan Sammy. Oh man. Okay, Cat for Life said Malik Washington over 50 yards tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good question. I get asked. It's funny now with gambling stuff. So easy. I get asked gambling questions all the time, and I'm terrible at this stuff. So I'm like, I love my money too
Yeah.
much to tell other people how to lose their money. But I will
You and
say
me
this.
both.
Yeah, I will say this though. Malik has been fun to watch his growth, and I think that they are expanding his role. We saw last week with the touchdown, but I think they really want to expand his role as it should with Tyreek out. Like Jalen's going to get a lot of attention, and this is it feels like the kind of game though where they're going to try to run, but if Lamar's on the loose and Lamar starts scoring, they're going to have to count on Tua. I don't think this is going to be like the Falcons game script where you can just run it 37 times. Though the Ravens defense isn't what it used to be, the problem is Lamar is still what he is. And he's going to come
Yeah.
out after missing a few weeks. And I know he said yesterday he doesn't care that it's Miami, but he cares it's Miami. Coming
Yeah,
back
he does.
to coming back to this neighborhood and coming back to this area. Come on, man. Lamar's going to be very excited to be playing, to return to be home. So the Dolphins are going to have to score some points. They're going to have to score. I don't see this being a grinded out kind of game.
Yeah, Lamar could try to be humble, but we know he gonna try to show out
Come
tomorrow.
on now.
We
Come
know
on,
it.
man.
Back home,
Papano's going to be in
family.
the house in Deerfield, and all the fans and friends are going to work their way down, and it's
Oh
going to
yeah,
be a show.
lot of Lamar jerseys tomorrow night.
Oh my God,
A lot
absolutely,
of them.
absolutely.
You think the Dolphins can win though? The way the
Uh,
Ravens been playing.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't. The Ravens are. This isn't like playing the Bills and the Chiefs right now. Now, I do think eventually, I think the Ravens can turn their season around with Lamar back and starts tomorrow. Like they win tomorrow, when they're 3-5, they can start the Sterling. Lamar again, when he's at his best, they're tough to beat. I wonder if they could just jump right into that. Derrick Henry hasn't looked like himself for the most part the last
Yeah.
few weeks, even though he did have a couple touchdowns last week. I think, maybe you're getting the Ravens at the right time, that first game with Lamar back, as opposed to 3 weeks from now when he's back to himself. Or maybe Lamar's going to come into tomorrow and roll and have four touchdowns because that wouldn't shock anybody because the guy's amazing.
For Derrick Henry. This might be Derrick Henry breakout game right here.
Yeah, listen, Derrick
We stopped
Henry,
one running back all year.
yeah, yeah.
One. And he
Listen,
granted he's probably the best in the NFL, one of the best, Bijan, but
yeah.
one all year.
Derrick Henry's a problem. If you're gonna, and this goes to why they're tough when they're healthy. You're trying to stop Lamar and what he can do and with his legs and with his arm, and then Derrick Henry's running over you. So it's a challenge. Do I think the Dolphins are going to win tomorrow? No. And you mentioned the over on. I saw today the Dolphins are 7.5 point underdogs for a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
on paper, with the help of Lamar Jackson, the Ravens should beat the Dolphins. But hopefully the Dolphins can build and make this a game and have a chance in the fourth quarter to win the game.
Yeah. The bookies know something. They know something.
Vegas knows everything. That's why you don't gamble, man, because they
Oh
know it
man.
all.
Exactly. Fan Sammy, he says he would love to know more about your Hispanic roots.
My parents were both born in Cuba, so my parents both born and raised in Cuba. They moved in the late '60s, and I was born in Jersey in '75. So I grew up in a Cuban household, and my parents spoke very little English. Even to I lost my parents in a few years ago, and they spoke even for the end. Like my dad knew a little bit more English than my mom because my dad owned a mechanic station, but the mechanic station was all Cubans and Haitians. It was a Cuban and Haitian neighborhood in Lake Worth, Florida. So he didn't have to speak much
Lake
English.
Worth. Okay.
Oh
Around my
yeah,
neck of the woods.
yeah. My dad had a business in Lake Worth, and I went to high school at Forest Hill High School in West Palm. I went to Palm Beach Community College, yeah, before I went to UM. But yeah, so that's what. And then I still have, all my parents. I still have, it's funny now with WhatsApp and the ability of phones to
Yeah.
talk. I have cousins and people and family members in Cuba that I've never met that we WhatsApp each other and we we message each other and they send me messages. They get Channel 10 in Cuba, so they'll be like, "Oh, I saw you, Primo. I saw you, like this and that." I'm like, "Man, that's crazy. Never met you." They live in
That's
Cuba in
awesome.
this oppressed place that it's had to go through so much, and yet we could sit there and text each other and talk about, they saw me. So it's kind of cool. But I do have a lot of family, aunts and uncles and cousins that still live in Palm Beach County.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Oh man. That's crazy. How long you stayed in Palm Beach County for?
I moved in '85 when I was 10 from New Jersey. I lived until '95 when I moved to UM. '95, '96,
Oh,
I moved
okay.
to UM. And then I left. I was UM for 2 years. I moved to Montana and Michigan, my first two jobs. And then I came back to Miami in '99. So I've been in Miami since '99.
How was Montana?
Cold. It was desolate, but fun. It was a cool place. I took the kids back. Giselle and I took the girls there. It was right before the pandemic, so it would have been what 2019. We went
Yeah.
to Montana and spent. We rented like a cabin and did the whole thing in the
Oh,
summer,
nice.
and it was fun. It was unique though because I was 21 at the time, and single 21 out of college, and come in Miami where it's a melting pot, so many cultures, and it was a big time culture
Montana.
shock. It was a culture shock, man. There were no, so I'll tell you a funny story. So in my year and a half in Montana, the people were lovely. Like I never ran into any problems. I never had any kind of problems as far as being Hispanic there or anything like that. But I will make you laugh though, because in Montana, I met one Hispanic person, right, that I knew, and he happened to be my high school baseball coach, who was the rookie ball manager in Helena, Montana for the Brewers Pioneer League team. And can you believe that we both ended up in Montana? So he was the only other Hispanic that I knew, the only other Cuban I knew. And there were four black guys that I knew, and they were all on the football team. And guess where four of them were from? Miami.
Miami.
So, so I'm like, we somehow ended up in Montana. Man. We somehow
Oh
they were
man.
kids that got recruited.
Did y'all all hang out?
I would see them all the times at the bars. I would see them like down in the area, and obviously when I interviewed them, we'd tell Miami stories and joke around. And it was cool to see because a lot of these kids in Miami that at the time maybe didn't have the grades or didn't get recruited to play for D1 schools. Montana, I will tell you
Yeah.
this: the years I was there covering two football teams. The first year I was there, they had just won a national title, and then the second year I was there, they lost to Randy Moss and Marshall in the national title game. So They packed 20,000 people into that stadium in Missoula. It was awesome. And there's still, it's funny, I still root for them because I was there for 2 years. They're one of the top teams in the country this year. I think they're third in the country in 1AA. The Grizzlies
Nice.
are. So it was an interesting year and a half. I call it my kind of like my jail sentence slash like grad school of a year and a half. So
Serious question, Will. How are the clubs in in Montana?
I mean, different, that's for sure. Like, it was
21?
I mean, I would go a lot of beer drinkers. Like in Miami, we drink a lot of cocktails,
Hmm.
like I'm Cuban. I drink rum and Coke, and that's my drink. So over there, it's like, everybody's at the breweries, people pounding beers and drinking. So it was a different vibe for me. It was a different vibe for me to go. And I remember like there was like a couple of like country kind of theme bars. The weather guy that lived with me, we were roommates, like housemates, and he was from Arkansas, and we would go to the bars and we would just be like, man, this is even for him being from Arkansas, we're like, this is different. This is different. But you know what though? Like I said, the people were great, and I liked it so much, like that I took my family back just to check it out. And my kids, the only thing they said were like, "You lived here? Like this is where you live?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, this is where I lived for a year and a half. This is where I lived for a year and a half."
The kids are so used to the city, right?
But what's funny? I asked them to this day, my oldest especially, because they're 20 and 18. Like of all the trips we've ever taken, we've gone to Europe. My sister lives in Europe, so we've been to a lot of places in Europe to see. I've taken them to different places of the states and in Canada and stuff. We've been on nice cruises, all these things. They will tell you their favorite vacation was Missoula because it was just so cool and natural being out, just jumping in the lake and having the cabin, wake up in the morning, seeing the deer there in the morning coming through the yard. And it was just like, it was
Oh,
a
that's
different
awesome.
vibe, just a different vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
Peaceful, right?
Very relaxing. But the funny thing is, so when I was there, Missoula was kind of desolate, quiet, beautiful area to raise a family. Now it's rich people. Now you got Hollywood actors
Oh,
and actresses buying up properties, and there's multi-million dollar homes in the States because people figure it out. It's a beautiful place to live. The winters are
yeah.
brutal, but it's a beautiful place to live. Yeah.
I mean, if you got money, you got plenty of heaters. You'd be
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think so. They'll be fine, I think.
Fellow Cuban, I believe, William Padron from 305 Sports Now saying, "What's up, man?"
Hey, look, it's good to talk to you, man. I know he does good stuff. I know he
Yeah.
talks a lot
Oh,
of a lot of local sports.
yeah, man, he does. And then Finn's TV, my boy Finn Sammy, he's saying we've been awesome tonight.
Oh man, that's fun.
Ch-
It's always fun to
chatting
catch up, man. It was a good night to
for
catch up
sure.
because honestly, tonight was in between. There's no games tonight outside of the World Series, so it's good to
Yeah,
catch up and at least we had good stuff to talk about, right? It's not all depressing stuff. Hopefully, the Dolphins make us happy tomorrow.
yeah, man, definitely. I hope so, but I don't. I don't trust the team, so
Oh, I don't
I
blame
don't
you. I
trust
didn't say they were. I said I hope. I
them. Yeah,
hope.
too much hopium, too much hope with this
Yeah, man.
team. It's a
What
lot
did
of hope.
Morgan
At
Freeman
least you,
say in Shawshank Redemption? Hope is a dangerous thing.
it
Yes,
is.
it is a very dangerous thing. Yeah.
It is every year, every single year with them. But
Yeah.
now let's talk Panthers and then we'll get out of here. Florida Panthers. I mean, the big news is Barkey out, Kachuk
Yeah.
out. Then you got Kulikov out now. Gadjevich missed some games, gonna be
Yeah.
out like a week. No sec, and yeah, man. I
It's
mean,
been a grind. It's
the
been a
team,
grind.
yeah, team still playing. Started the season 3-0, and then lost four straight or five straight, four straight.
Mhm.
And then went one and one again. But Marchand, how important is this guy to this team, man? He's been playing outstanding. Um, like we talked last year, I don't ever worry about the team. I don't even care if they're losing games in the beginning of the season. Who
Yeah, no,
cares?
I don't think so either. Honestly, the reality with them is that as long as they're in the playoffs and healthy going into the
Yeah,
playoffs, and look, the Barkov stuff stinks. He's not going to be back probably,
yeah,
maybe late in the playoffs, but I think it's still unlikely.
yeah,
The reality is if they're in the playoffs and Marchand's healthy and Reinhardt's healthy and Bennett is healthy and Lundell is healthy and these pieces that we talk about and Bob is Bob and you got a great coach in Paul Maurice, they're going to be right in the mix to try to win again. even if all the guys are healthy, right? It's hard to
Yeah,
go 4 years in a row to a Stanley Cup final, man. It's hard to win, let alone one, let alone two in a row, but to win three in a row. So this year was going to be a challenge regardless. The injuries you mentioned make it tough, but I don't sweat it too much with the Panthers. I think their biggest thing is just be playing good hockey down the stretch, make the playoffs. And you know how it is. There isn't a sport where you see more lower seeds, right, make runs than in
yeah,
hockey. You see it all the time, a seventh or eighth, sixth, seventh, eighth seed make a run. Where in other sports, it's much more unusual, but in hockey, it happens all the time. So I just be healthy and be playing your best, and I don't sweat it too much. They've still got a stacked roster, even with the
yeah,
injuries.
yeah, for sure. And same thing that happened last year. Last year we were losing games early. People were losing their minds. Oh, we're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Then we go win another Stanley
Yes.
Cup. Come on, man, relax,
Yes,
guys.
yeah, and I again, that's
Seriously.
now. Paul Maurice did say we did a preseason show, and I had a chance to talk to Maurice, and Paul told me he was like, injuries happen, and you can't control them. Now, are we fine now? Yeah. Now, if more injuries come, there is a point, Adrian, where
Oh
injuries
yeah,
are too much, or it's too much. So if you lose like a Rhino or a Bennett or a Marchand, who you mentioned who's been phenomenal for an extended period of
for
time, now
Hagee.
yeah, if Verhaeghe we didn't mention yet, that's a problem. That's a big problem because now you're talking about key guys out and then another piece out. Now all of a sudden that depth that makes you so much better than everybody, now you're down here again, and that's as long as they can kind of weather these injury storms, I think they'll be fine. I don't sweat it too much.
Yeah, and I think just if Marchand gets if Marchand gets injured, it's gonna be a problem because he's
Oh
leading
man,
the
he's been
team in
everything. He's
points,
been so
goals,
good,
and assists. Well,
so
tied
good.
tied for goals with Reinhardt. But lose either one of them probably, and it's gonna get bad for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. But
he's a great player, and it is crazy to think. And that's one thing I asked Paul when I said to him, I'm like, if I was last year was I was sitting with you and I'd said to you, the key to winning a Stanley Cup in a row, and the key as you enter the season, you're looking for a third in a row, is Brad Marchand on your team. He looked at me and goes, I would have thought you were crazy, just like everybody else. And it's true.
yeah,
But you know what? Credit to Bill Zito, man. He pulled it off, and Marchand is fit in perfectly here.
yeah, definitely. I want Bill Zito to be the general manager of the Dolphins. That's what I want. He can manage it.
Well,
He's that good. He can do
Well,
it.
listen, he's tried to help Chris Greer. I've seen him out at Dolphin camp a couple times, out there trying to help a little, trying to rub
Chris
off that
Greer ain't
championship
learning
mojo.
nothing.
It's only was that easy, man. Just go ahead and, hopefully just take what you do in hockey at the principles and bring them to that.
Thank you. That's
But
it.
man, that's easier said than done. That's
The
easier said than done.
principles and the conviction. Please know what you want to
Yep.
build and build it.
And do it. And do it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Last point. Your Giants. Obviously, Cam Scatterbo,
Yeah, that
terrible
stinks.
injury,
Yeah, that
terrible
stinks.
injury. But you like what you're seeing in Jackson Dart?
I do better than I thought he was going to be. Like when they drafted him, I was kind of like, all right, cool. I'm glad they got him because at least it's you want to get your quarterback for the future and see what he's like. He's better than I thought he was going to be because I thought he was going to be a little more turnover prone, a little more mistake prone, not make good reads.
Yep.
But everything I see, and I'm not a film breakdown guy. I'm not sitting there looking at all 22s breaking down film.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what I do. But I enjoy seeing others who do that talk about players. And I see the breakdowns that people that I think are really good at smart at football talk about his recognition and what he sees on the field, his vision, his decision making. And it's impressive, man. And you see it too. Like when he runs around, like more often than not, he's making a great throw. The problem is he's got practice squad receivers running around because Malik Neighbors has been out. Darius Slayton's
Oh,
been in and out, but he's an average receiver. They had a guy, like I said, practice squad guys out there. So
mhm.
they drop a lot of passes, make a lot of mistakes. But his decision making has been better than I thought, and he can run, and he's fun. He's got a lot of energy. So right now, I'm really happy. Like I think they found their quarterback, but we'll see, man. Look,
Yeah.
people laugh at Daniel Jones, right? He's been so good now with the Colts. People
Look at him
forget
now.
Daniel Jones rookie year. He had 24 touchdowns. That's
Hmm.
passing touchdowns. I don't mean total touchdowns. He had 24 passing touchdowns. He was really good his rookie year. With Pat Shermer was the coach, and he seemed to have a grasp. Then they started making all these changes, coaching changes, and Daniel Jones went straight down. He didn't improve. He got worse. And now look at him in Indy. So I think the next step for Dart is what are they going to do with coaching? Are they going to keep Dable, or are they going to bring somebody in? And if that person can play to Dart strengths as a quarterback, because I think the talent is there, the attitude, the work ethic is there, and so I'm excited, man. I'm hopeful that he's the guy.
He looks good. He looks like a dog. So
He does. That's what I love about him too. He's got the right attitude. He's got no fear. He runs.
he got
I
his
mean, he
chain
stands for,
on
yeah, he's got
every
the
game.
swag. And what I love too is that teammates around him, even on defense, guys rally around him. And I know that's
Yeah.
kind of cliche. The quarterback has to be the leader, but he kind of does, right? Like you kind of
Yeah,
have to
man.
take the image of your quarterback. And I feel like the Giants are trying to do that with him. But they got a long way to go, man. They got a lot of talent
Oh, yeah.
deficiencies. They got a lot of things to build. But getting the quarterback first is a good thing. Having your quarterback, so hopefully he's that guy.
And the running back. I mean, Scatterbo looked good. He
He
looked
did,
good
man.
before the injury.
He talk about energy and fun, man. I was reading all this stuff today. It was pretty graphic injury he suffered, but it sounds like he'll be back
Yeah.
for next year for camp. So ride those two kids, get Malik Neighbors back, and you got some really nice players. Abdul Carter is going to be a really good player, man.
Oh, yeah.
He gets to the quarterback all the time. He's not finishing sacks yet, but he's getting to the quarterback. Brian Burns has 10 sacks. He's a dog. So just keep building, man. I'm excited. I'm going to go see them. Actually, Giselle and I are going with some friends to go see the Packers and Giants next month in New York.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a fun game. It'll be fun to see him in person, hopefully.
That's awesome, man. Hope you guys have fun.
Man, we're looking forward to it.
Good looking couple right there. That's a good
But
looking couple.
I mean, she's got it. That's more like a 90-10 split. That's like saying, like, you know what I mean? That's like saying, like, the two greatest, like, home run hitters of all time are the Aaron brothers. Like, yeah, Hank Aaron had a lot more than his brother. Like,
You're
it's,
you're a good
it's,
husband. You're a good husband.
yeah, but no, but thank
You're
you, man.
good. That's what's up, man. Hey, man, I hope everything continues to go well for you, man. And I really appreciate you coming on
No,
for
man.
real. Like
Anytime, man. I look
always
forward to it.
great
We'll
talking
do
to
it
you.
again down the road, man. It's always good to chat.
Let's go, man. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Manso. All right. Go check him out. You already know.
Thank you.
Everybody knows you, man. Everybody from in
Uh,
South Florida knows you.
just
When I
means
when
I'm
I put
old.
out oh nah. That means you're a dog. That's why everybody
Somehow
loves
maybe
you,
too.
man, for real.
No,
I put
I
out
appreciate that.
that little promo and I got messages like, man, you got
No,
Will, man. Like
I appreciate it, man.
not
I
even
appreciate it.
realizing we just spoke in what this almost a year ago. So
Yeah,
cool.
it's fun,
Yeah.
man. Anytime. We look forward to hopefully a year from now or 6 months from now we're talking again a lot of winning. So hopefully
Yeah, man. Let's when we get closer to the end of some of these, we'll get you back on, man. And
you got it.
yeah,
Anytime,
man.
brother.
I appreciate you. You know
You
how I
got my
feel about
pleasure,
you,
man.
man,
You got
for
it, man.
sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Manso. And in the great words of Jackie Moon, I hope y'all really like this. Go like and subscribe. You know, all the stuff podcasters say. You at Rainy Day Pod on YouTube. And in the great words of Jackie Moon, everybody love everybody. Goodbye.